And welcome to the Sports Roundtable today here on YHC. And glad you joined us. We got a great show lined up for you. We've got highlights from last night's game between Sikeston and Kennett in that SEMO Conference matchup. Also got a nice guest in today. We've got Blankenship. He's the Risco basketball coach and coming off a win last night. Really successful year so far for the Tigers, and also his 200th win last night in his career. So definitely a good start for the Tigers this year, and we'll be getting into that here in our next segment with Blankenship. So stick around for that coming up, and give you a little update on the broadcast for from last night. You can catch that replay of Sikeston and Kennett. You can catch that today, Saturday at noon and 6:30, and Sunday afternoon at 2. That SEMO Conference replay of Sikeston and Kennett. Sikeston, one of the better teams, not only in the area, but across the state. Good opportunity to see them right here on YHC for the weekend. And we're going to take a look at some games from last night throughout the area. And in that game last night, Sikeston over Kennett, handily 80-51. As Sikeston pulls away with that victory in a big win last night. No real surprise there. Sikeston's really had a good year. Only got couple losses on the year. Had two just in the last week. Chaminade and McClure North. Big-time matchups there around St. Louis. But Sikeston looking really good this year and looking to go undefeated in the SEMO Conference this year. And let's take a look at some highlights from that game last night as we get to it here.
Thatch gives it back. Thatch.
And here early on, Fred Thatch gets the dunk. He had a couple in the game. And here,
West for three.
Good. For Kennett Indians on the left side. Kendall down to a three start. Had an early lead.
There's a Fred Thatch. Good pass. Good finish. Here comes Sikeston. Now they Jones. Lob it up. Push it down for Thatch. Stayed in. Kennett has it. Over to Thomas. He drives.
And you see there, nice finish there for Jad Kenny in the open space. Fred Thatch with a nice up and under move for the Bulldogs here. A three plus the foul in the corner, knocking it down here. Another three in the fourth quarter, pushing it away for the Bulldogs there.
In Malden, this 2016 Ford Taurus Limited. Take 20% off. You can buy.
And you saw there another three, put it away for the Bulldogs in the end, and getting that comfortable victory, 80-51 over the Kennett Indians last night. So there you go, the Sikeston Bulldogs, what they typically are, especially with Fred Thatch. He verbally committed to St. Louis University earlier this week. I think going back to last week possibly, but he's only a junior, so he'll be around for another year. And Sikeston looking really good once again this year. And taking a look at some other games from the area last night. Bloomfield over Woodland, 56-37. 56-37 score. Bloomfield over Woodland in the Stoddard County Conference. And they'll be matching up in the first round of that Stoddard County tournament getting underway this next week. So we'll take a look at that here in a moment as well. And take a look at some other scores from the area. Dexter over New Madrid County Central with a nice win, 77-61 in the SEMO Conference. Dexter looking really good here of late. They got some nice wins, getting a SEMO Conference win last night, and they'll be heading into the Stoddard County Activity Association tournament as the top seed next week. Also, we have Scott County Central over East Prairie. That's in the Scott, Mississippi Conference Tournament Championship. And they won 68-62. Scott County Central over East Prairie. East Prairie coming away with second place. Scott County with the championship. And the third place game, it was Oran over Scott City, 85-64. Oran coming away with third place in that Scott, Mississippi Conference Tournament. Also, Graves County of Kentucky over Charleston last night, 68-54. That was over in the Superman Classic in Metropolis, Illinois. And Charleston, I believe, going to be playing in the third place game later on today. South Pemiscot over Zenith Hornersville in the Boot Conference, 79-58. Malden over Portageville. Malden looking really good here of late. Got a nice victory over Portageville last night in the Boot Hill Conference, 71-50. And Malden getting 2 conference wins this week, Hayti and Portageville. And Malden might be looking at second seed in that Boot Hill Conference tournament. That'll be in 2 weeks. As Crowsville surely will get the number 1 seed. Malden looks like they've done the work to get that number 2 seed in the Boot Hill Conference. Twin Rivers over Neelyville out west, 64-57 in the Ozark Foothills Conference. Notre Dame over Saxony Lutheran, 49-46. A narrow victory there for Notre Dame. Risco over Holcomb, and Risco's homecoming last night, 67-37. Nice Tri-County Conference win for the Risco Tigers last night, and also Advance of Meadow Heights going into overtime for that game last night, 73-66 victory for Advance in that game last night. And those are the games throughout the area from last night, and we're going to take our first break and be back with Brandon Blankenship, head coach of the Risco Tigers, talking about his 200th win last night and the Risco Tigers season thus far. And we'll be back with him coming up.
It's time to save 20% off at Harry Blackwell in Malden.
This 2016 Ford Taurus Limited. Take 20% off. You can buy it for $29,124.
Come join the Harry Blackwell family this Christmas season.
And don't forget, we deliver.
For more than 75 years, the law firm of Crowe, Reynolds, Shetley, McVeigh & Shear, LLP, has served the legal needs of Southeast Missouri. Located at 308 First Street in Kennett, Crowe, Reynolds, Shetley, McVeigh & Shear, LLP is a full-service law firm providing representation in a wide range of areas, such as personal injury, workers' compensation, family law, criminal law, probate, business, and estate planning. For all your legal needs, call Crowe, Reynolds, Shetley, McVeigh & Shear, LLP at 573-888-4664.
At New Wave, we're proud to call the communities we serve our home. Our customers tell us having a local office is important to them. That's why we maintain dozens of local offices and employ over 500 skilled employees, all focused on delivering the best customer experience. We don't just connect communities, we connect to our communities, helping support the schools, organizations, and events that support all of us. Thank you for choosing New Wave Communications, your local provider of internet, TV, and phone.
Us. So anytime you can rattle off a streak like that, that's good. That's a good thing. We just got a great group of kids. I mean, I can't talk enough about how they have bought into what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish, and how hard they've worked and how much they've gotten better just from last year to this year. The work they put in over the summer and in the preseason. So I'm just excited to be playing well and just proud of our kids.
Sure. And the Risco Tigers had a great run here over the last 6, 7, 8 years, and y'all went away for a few years, but the Tigers are back this year. Y'all really brought back a great group this year, and a lot of talent on the court coming into this year. And
right.
There was a two or 3 years there that y'all kind of had to retool and recalibrate a bit, but the Tigers are back now.
Small schools, it goes in cycles.
Yeah.
And we're smallest of the small, we like to say. Well, I think we call ourselves a class of half sometimes, because we have 45 kids in high school, and there's about 20 boys in grades 9 through 12.
Yeah.
And we started the season with 12 players. We have 10 players now, and but just to get the work ethic out of those kids, I mean, that's a huge thing. And I got great assistant coaches too that are able to step in there, and they're dedicated to the kids as well. Dylan Hill and Jeremy Walker are a huge help to our program. And Dylan's been with me for several years now, and he played for me too. So it's just good when you got guys like that that you know that you can trust and that work hard for your kids.
Sure. So. And you got some really good young talent. Young talent this year. You got Morgan Ludwig as a junior. Nathan Burnett as a sophomore, had a really good freshman season last year, and Drew Fortner is one of your major contributors as a senior. So he's had quite a bit of time there with the basketball team. And you got some other contributors that just come in and play big games, like this Myers kid. He comes in, has sophomore. A big game every few games, and you got a pretty good little nucleus there.
We do, and our seniors, they were part of the kind of the rebuilding process. They were freshmen and sophomores that were kind of taking lumps and stuff a couple years ago. We kind of put them through the ringer, though. We had 9 kids. 2 years ago, we had just come off of, being in 5 straight district championships. The Pavies and the Bixlers had graduated, so we were kind of moving on to a new era for us. We had a good run with those 2 families for sure, and so Drew Fortner, Tony Green, Ethan Pipkin, those guys were freshmen and sophomores there, and we had 9 players at the time, and so we were making them play a full varsity game, and then we'd come back and play 2 quarters of JV after that. So those kids were getting 6 quarters a night and just really being pushed. But all that effort and hard work paid off for them, because those guys, they got the experience there. And then when we brought this other core group of sophomores in, putting those 2 groups together, we're really seeing the benefit of that. So.
Good deal. But significance in that win last night, as you got your 200th win as a coach, and you got to put in some time to get that. You got to win. You got to have some successful seasons too. So You've actually been in it for a good amount of time now, and got that 200th win last night.
Yeah, this is year 15. So. I don't know. I think it's more of a testament to longevity. I think. Well, and you see that with, you and I just talked earlier that a lot of these younger coaches, a lot of these good younger coaches, are not necessarily staying in it for that long. They're moving on to administrative jobs, and I've just been very blessed and fortunate, one, to have a family and a support system behind me that's allowed me to do it. Yeah. My wife and kids have been great, and they know that that's what I'm passionate about. And they support me 100%. My parents and my grandma, I couldn't do it without them, because they have to come get the kids and pick the kids up from school so we can have practice. And so for me personally, just having that support system is probably the biggest thing. And then 2, you got to be at a school that will allow you to stay. A lot of coaches see that. We all know this coaching profession is tough. It's tough. Coaches get put through the ringer sometimes, and so I'm just thankful to be at Risco and to be in a situation where the school supports me and the community supports me. So that's big. And then last but certainly not least, you got to have the kids. You got to have the players to do it. Coach can come up with any game plan, or any strategy and your practices and how you structure them, but if the kids are not bought in and working hard and willing to sacrifice and do it, we always say my former college coach, Kent Thomas, who's now coaching, he's back in high school coaching, but he coached me at Hannibal LaGrange. He used to say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Johnnies and the Joes. And his point is, it's the kids. You got to have the players to be successful. And so we've had a good run of good players come through Risco.
Sure. And you're right there in the mix once again this year in Class 1, not only the Tri-County Conference, but Class 1 here in Southeast Missouri. Yourself, Scott County Central, Advance look to be the 3 teams that are going to be going at it to see who gets out of Southeast Missouri. And it's really not any different from what we've expected before. You and Scott County have had your battles, and and then Advance thrown in the mix this year. So it's going to be fun to watch towards the end of the season, see how it all works out.
Clarkston's playing really well right now too, and
really,
they've played us.
They played y'all well.
Played us tough twice. The district's going to be pretty fun. And districts at Gideon this year, it's a great venue, you know, for a district tournament, and they always run a great tournament. And they've made some updates to their facility as well. So yeah, it's going to be tough. You know, Scott County is always the road that you have to travel through if you're gonna win anything. So we're looking forward. We're looking forward to it, though. I wish we had them on the regular season schedule. We don't. But we get to play Advance here coming up in a week or so, and so hopefully we'll compete well in that one.
Yeah, it's an interesting few days there. You all play Advance, and Advance plays Scott County, and they're just within a few days, isn't that right?
Right. Yeah. Next Saturday, a week from today, we'll play Advance at Three Rivers. I think the game time's 2:30. And then the following Monday, Advance and Scott Central play each other. So
it'll be a good few days to check out how it's gonna, you know, how these teams size up a little bit.
Yeah, you know, Advance, Coach Wheatley, you know, those kids play so hard over there, and they shoot the ball so well, and they have a ton of confidence. I mean, I think that's really one of the things you say about them. They're good, but you know, they're confident in their ability too, and they've proven it. They've proven it against bigger schools, and I think that's one thing this year that we've seen is I think there's more parity between smaller schools and bigger schools. Yeah. This year, because I think, you know, we've seen that. We've seen Advance go up to the Cape tournament and beat, you know, Jackson and Cape Central, and you know, of course, Scott County always beats bigger schools. And even Bell City, you know, who's kind of been struggling with numbers and having enough kids, you know, they go up there and they beat Woodland, you know, who was I think 7-0 going into that tournament. So you know, we've had wins over Portageville and East Prairie and South Pim. So I mean, I think this year maybe more so than ever, the smaller schools are competing pretty well against some of the bigger schools in the area.
Sure. Yeah. You know, we've seen some of the bigger schools. It's been so good here the last few years, just in talent amongst especially the CMO Conference schools.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And, you know, we've seen that talent move on, but we've seen kind of the talent really develop in the smaller schools, and I think that's been the difference. A lot of the talent's developing in the smaller schools and being able to really compete with the larger schools this year. So it's been a fun year, and it's just a lot of you know, you see the scores after every night and say, wow, they played them that good, or they beat them. You know, it's been one of those kind of years, which makes it exciting. You don't know what's going to be happening night in and night out throughout the area. So it's been a good year, and just so you're always engaged. You know, you don't just look at these games and say, oh well, you know, no good games tonight. It's going to be blowouts.
That's right.
It seems like every night of the week we're having competitive games throughout the area. So, you know, it's been a fun year so far. We had quite a few Risco games on already. Y'all played in quite a few tournament championships. You actually got you're undefeated in your tournament so far, aren't you?
We are. We won the Campbell tournament this year with a big win over Bernie. Anytime you can get a win over Bernie, that's it's a plus. And then we won the Clarkton Holiday tournament over South Pim. Got to avenge our earlier loss. That was a super fun game.
Yeah.
That was overtime. Just two teams going at it, you know, two teams pretty evenly matched, and that was Michael Smith for South Pim had a big game, but man, Nathan Burnett for us, he put us on his back there. It seemed like I think he had 39, and he had 20 plus points I think in the fourth quarter and overtime combined. He just hit big shot after big shot. So yeah. That was a fun game. Probably one of the most fun games that I've been a part of. Of course, it's always the most fun if you win it, if you come out on the winning side. So.
Yeah, they beat y'all in his home court.
They did.
The week previous, I
was blaming that on the YHC curse.
Yeah, we get that.
We don't seem to play as well when you guys are there, but I think we got that off our back now.
Yeah, those are good games. I think South Penn beat y'all by 2 maybe, and then y'all come back and win by 1 or 2. So
we had a 10-point lead in the first time we played them, going into the fourth, and then they just went lights out in the fourth quarter, and we couldn't stop their guys getting to the basket, and we didn't shoot well and didn't make good decisions, and they beat us by 2. So yeah, we were definitely wanting the opportunity. And then they got a big win in the semifinals there against the St. Louis team.
Yeah.
You know, pulled the kind of the upset in that one. So we were pretty excited to get the opportunity to play South Pim again.
Sure. And you got the Tri-County Conference Tournament. Is that 2 weeks from now?
Yeah, I think it's
week
February 6th,
Okay.
I think. So the second full week of February.
Okay. So where's that at this year?
Southland.
Southland.
Yes. It's at Southland. So everybody will have to travel a bit.
Yeah, and y'all be seeding that here in probably a week or so. And
yeah, we do our tournament a little different. I know some of the other conferences have their conference tournament earlier. We actually play out all of our conference games before we seed the tournament. You know, barring any kind of weather or situation like that. So, I mean, ours has just gone on head-to-head matchups.
Sure.
You know, to seed it. So, we have. I think we're 4-0 in the conference now. We have. I think we have North Pim. We have Gideon Tuesday night at Gideon, and then we have North Pim and Southland left in the conference to play. So.
Okay. All right. So. Watch out for these Risco Tigers going ahead. They've had a great year, and the Tri-County Conference coming up. Be looking forward to that. And, of course, the district tournament coming up, which Risco, Clarkton, and Scott County Central share. So that'll be fun to watch, see how that plays out there in Gideon this year, which will be we're going to try to make it down for that championship game this year. We always have to juggle that class 1, 2, and 3 because y'all put them on the same nights now. Gosh, you know, they used to be we could do one on a Thursday night and then Friday night, but everybody's going on Thursday night now, so we got to pick one of 3, and y'all need to work that out.
It used to be that some of the other districts would play theirs on Friday, even in Class 1, so we started playing ours on Thursday so we could play ours Thursday and then go watch the other championship game and scout who you might have to play. I think the first year in 2010 that we won the district tournament over North Pim, we played the next round was going to be the winner of Dora and Eminence, because I think that year the West District was District 2. So when District 1 winner always plays District 2 winner, and so my dad and my assistant coach Danny Burnett and we drove out to Dora to watch Dora and Eminence play, and of course Coach Cookson is there eating his popcorn, you know. He said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "You don't even have to worry about these teams. We'll take care of these teams for you. We'll be." He said, "Oh, okay." So that was a good story. Then we went on to beat Dora in the sectional game, and then of course lost by 50 or 60 to Otto Porter and Company. So
almost wasn't fair.
Almost. No, those couple of years there. I mean, they won the state championship game.
You won't see that again.
They won the state championship game by 50 plus. So.
Yeah, they should have stuck around the next weekend and played, you know, Vashon or whatever. There you go. The Risco Tigers having a great year. Look out for them. They'll be right there in the mix towards the end, and it'll be fun to see how it all plays out as it always is.
Right.
All right. And Brandon, appreciate you spending some time with us. Congratulations on 200th win. Even Seth McBroom don't have 200 wins. You know that?
Yeah, he got out too early. He would have had it. Hey, shout out to Dustin Benson at Twin Rivers. He got his 100th win tonight. So, congrats, Coach.
Yep, he's been in there. He's running around my age, so about maybe half the time you've been, maybe I don't know, 8-9 years, something like that. So, yeah, congratulations to him out there. That's a good little milestone. 100 wins so far. And again, Brandon, appreciate you coming up, and we'll look forward to the Risco Tigers finishing out the year.
Okay, thanks, Tyler.
All right, and we'll be back with more coming up. The JR Shoes going out of business sale continues. All right, man.
Cool. Yeah, that was we went out there and we walked in the gym. Cookson was out there eating popcorn. I said, "What are you doing here?" Well, he asked me that. He said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Well, just get a look at these teams, and we
gotta play them.
We just won our district." And I said, "You don't even have to be here, though." I said, "You ain't gonna worry about any of these teams. We'll take care of them for you." He said, "I like how you think." Yeah, anytime you.
And welcome back. Now we're going to take a look at some other headlines from the area from this week. As, of course, Brandon got his 200th win. Dustin Benson getting his 100th win out there at Twin Rivers last night. Always like to see the good coaches doing well in the area. Also, Scott County Central, just touching on that last night, winning the conference tournament, pretty much the first conference tournament in the area here in the next few weeks. Last night, the Scott Mississippi title as they defeated East Prairie for that conference tournament. We'll have many other conference tournaments getting underway starting next week, which we'll touch on that here in just a moment. And in other news from the area, I think these are from last week here. Yeah. So we'll just move on from those from last week. Also give you a little update on our broadcast schedule here on YHC to look forward to starting this week. We got a gauntlet of games this week to look forward to. Monday night we'll have Portageville at Gideon. And Tuesday night, Malden at New Matter County Central. Thursday night, we'll have a girls' game, Sikeston at Dexter. Friday night, the Stoddard County Activity Association tournament gets underway. Actually, Monday finishes up Friday. We'll have the final night, all 4 games that night. Varsity and junior varsity, third place and championship games starting at 4 o'clock. It'll be at 4, 5:30, 7, and 8:30, all Friday night from Bloomfield. There on the 27th, and a week from today, the 28th, we got a girls' game over at Charleston, Incarnate Word versus Dexter. So 8 games in 5 days this week here on YHC, so you'll certainly be given your fair share of basketball this week, whether you like it or not, here on YHC. So we got quite a few games in there, and quite a few good games to look forward to as well, so we'll look forward to that all this week here on YHC and YHCtv.com. And take a look at that Stoddard County tournament getting underway this next week starting Monday. Bernie with the top seed in the junior varsity bracket. They got a first round bye. The 4-5 matchups, Richland and Puxico. 2-7 is Dexter Advance, and 3-6 is Bloomfield Woodland. And that airs all this, or we'll air the final night on that tournament on Friday from Bloomfield. And looking at the varsity bracket, Advance with the top seed takes on 8th Richland. 4th Bernie takes on 5th Bell City. 2nd Dexter versus 7th Puxico. And 3rd Bloomfield versus 6th Woodland. So that'll be a competitive tournament. Some good first round games to look forward to. Bloomfield and Woodland there in the first round should be a good one. And Bernie and Bell City should be good there as well. So especially the semifinal games be good to watch as well. So we'll see how that plays out this next week in Bloomfield. And take a look at some state rankings for the state of Missouri this week. We had a little change in boys Class 1. Winston undefeated coming into this week at number 1. 2, Walnut Grove. 3, Glasgow. 4, North Andrew. 5, the Advance Hornets move up to number 5 at 10-2 coming into this week. 6, Scott County Central right behind Advance there at number 7. 7, Hermitage. 8, Bramer. 9, Jefferson. And 10, Greenfield. In Class 2, Hartville at number 1. 2, Thayer. 3, Stanberry. 4, Lincoln. 5, Wellington Napoleon. 6, Newburgh. 7, Marionville. 8, Ellington. 9, Knox County. And 10, Salisbury. In Class 3, Southern Boone at number 1. They move up to number 1 this week. Former number 1 Cardinal Ritter moves down to 2. 3, Charleston. Charleston moving up to that 3rd slot in Class 3. Crothersville right behind them at number 4. 5, Licking. 6, Lamar. 7, Mountain Grove. 8, Saxony Lutheran. They're in the top 10 as well. 9, Summit Christian Academy. And 10, Monroe. So 3 Southeast Missouri teams there in Class 3. Class 4, Vashon moves up to number 1. 2, St. Mary's. 3, Sikeston. Sikeston moves down from number 1 to number 3 after a few losses last week to Chaminade and McClure North. Really no shame in losing those teams, but just the losses move them down to number 3 in the rankings. 4, Jeff City Helias. 5, Farmington. 6, Jennings. 7, Parkway West. 8, Hillsboro. 9, Bolivar. And 10, Center of Kansas City. And in Class 5, Chaminade there at number 1. 2, Lee Summit West. 3, St. Louis University High. 4, Webster Groves. 5, Nixa. 6, Kickapoo. 7, Park Hill. 8 Liberty, 9 Park Hill South, and 10 Republic. And in the girls' rankings in Class 1, Walnut Grove there at number 1, 2 North Mercer, 3 Leeton, 4 Jefferson, 5 Mound City, 6 Wheatland, 7 Higbee, 8 southwest of Livingston County, 9 Norborn, and 10 Rockport. In Class 2, Clopton at number 1, 2 Skyline, 3 Gainesville, 4 Norwood, 5 Thayer, 6 Purdy, 7 New Franklin, 8 Spokane, 9 Scotland County, and 10 Buchanan. And in Class 3, number 1 at Stratford, 2 St. James, 3 Father Tolton Catholic, 4 Southern Boone, 5 Booneville, 6 Park Hill Central, 7 Monroe City, 8 Trenton, 9 Whitfield, and 10 California. In Class 4, number 1 Incarnate Word at number 1, 2 Chillicothe, 3 Country Day, 4 Carl Junction, 5 Parkway North, 6 Pacific, 7 Benton, 8 Sullivan, 9 Osage, and 10 Smithville. In Class 5, Jefferson City at number 1, 2 Kirkwood, 3 Washington, 4 Rock Bridge, 5 Hickman, 6 Lee Summit North, 7 Blue Springs South, 8 Kickapoo, 9 Jackson, Lady Indians there at number 9, and 10 Lebanon. And those are your state rankings for this week throughout the area, or throughout the state of Missouri. And we'll go ahead and touch on what's taking place this weekend in NFL football. We got the conference championships taking place Sunday, and look forward to this. Steelers and the Patriots have the, I believe we've got the times mixed up on these. The Packers and the Falcons are at 2:05 on CBS, or excuse me, on Fox. The NFC Championship, Packers versus the Falcons at 2:05. And the Steelers and the Patriots are at 5:40 on CBS. So we'll know the Super Bowl participants after this weekend in the NFL. And take a look at some college basketball games taking place today. Vanderbilt at 19th ranked Florida in the SEC. Penn State at 21st ranked Purdue in the Big Ten. Syracuse at 15th ranked Notre Dame. Providence at top ranked Villanova. Texas at 2nd ranked Kansas in the Big 12. 12th ranked Louisville at 10th ranked Florida State. In the ACC, Georgia Tech at 16th ranked Virginia in the ACC. 13th ranked Butler at DePaul in the Big East. Marquette at 7th ranked Creighton. And our local teams, Eastern Illinois, or excuse me, Eastern Kentucky at SEMO, and Troy's at Arkansas State for today. And those are your college basketball matchups taking place today. And that's pretty much all we've got for your roundtable for today. We appreciate you for tuning in as always, and appreciate Brandon Blankenship being in with us today. Coming in after his 200th win in his career. Congratulations to him, and look forward to seeing the Risco Tigers from here on out in the Tri-County Conference. And that's all we got for you today. Again, remember the Sikeston-Kennett matchup. You can watch replay here on YHC and online at YHCtv.com, 12 and 6:30 today, Saturday and Sunday at 2. We'll even have it uploaded to our website this weekend on YHCtv.com. And we look forward to seeing you right back here with us next week. And until then, have yourself a great week, everyone.